of himself, and he's just gonna rush down Cruncho.
All right. I am really excited for this set here against Mekatex and Cruncho, of course. I am going to be, once again, surprised that he's still going with the Harley Quinn, especially against someone like Batman who can really put in some punches here. It's going to be really interesting to see how it goes because, like I said before in the last set with Cruncho, it's a very... basically, I want to see Cruncho connect his possible kill confirms more than what he was able to do last set. He's very good at being with stage control and being consistent and having that, but the moment you're able to like really get those connections in quickly for kill confirms, it turns you into a much scarier player because then it's like you really can't be above Harley Quinn.
Yeah, that is very true. And it's also the same thing with Batman. I do find a lot of people just having trouble when they're above Batman as well. So I think both of these players are going to be fighting for air control a lot more.
Absolutely. And so far, we're seeing some great work out of Mecha, who's been able to get in on these approaches against Cruncho. Oh! Ooh. I thought that would have killed with how high that was. That
should have killed.
See that movement that I'm telling you about for Cruncho? That's how you do it.
Dude, that was a great grapple. I will admit. That was so
there we go. Gonna get that connection into the up special. Love to see it, of course, and he's going to keep the combo game going. There's only 22% on Mekatex right now, and he's just been really good at being able to keep these going. Cruncho, you got to do something, man, if you want this to not be an easy wash.
Very true, very true. Plus, something I did notice from Mekatex, he noticed that the mine was on him, so he backed away from Cruncho in the middle of his combo, so he didn't get comboed himself.
Oh, do you see all the different things that are happening there? The Batarang connecting, getting full stacks of the weekend. And then on top of that, the up special to rack in some more damage and knockback. Very scary stuff. Oh, fantastic dodge coming in for Cruncho. Gonna be able to get the up special there finally. And gets the match point. But you are in a big disadvantage at 90+% here because Harley Quinn, assassin character, not very heavy. So she could die this early in percent, but the Sky Arena, no, Plat's coming in clutch at the moment. Ooh, this is not good. This is a very bad position to be in.
I think with Cruncho playing with wall, I think he's trying to get Mekatex on the wall so he can possibly cheese him for the easy down air.
Potentially, but at the same time, Batman's got the down special that can spike from any moment. So it's a very scary... Ooh, he tried the up special there, but he missed it, putting with the side special instead.
Not the mine.
And look, side up special is decayed so much that now Cruncho can live. Batman up special, even at this much of a percent, even with the weekend, Cruncho is still alive. He's gotta get a combo here, but he's not gonna be able to get it with the weekend.
Mekatex taking game 1 on Cruncho. That, I mean, he was playing at the wall that we both saw at the end there. But I think.
Oh man, I felt the pressure.
Yeah, something that I did see. The literal moment wall fatigue came up, he got back so quick and just stayed off the wall. And then that was, I think, kind of was a big downfall is wall fatigue being a thing.
Honestly, it's one of those things where I tell people to play it like Rivals of Aether. If you've ever played that game before, or if you don't know, the wall in Rivals of Aether is used to get all of your recovery tools back, very similar to this game. However, you can only do it once in Rivals. I tell people all the time to use the wall like only once and then go off of the wall and vary your recovery, because then your opponent is not going to be able to punish it as easily unless they see it coming. But so many people rely on the wall so much to just do a straight vertical recovery that you're most of the time just going to see people hugging the wall to try to spike you off. So varying your recovery is super important in this game. But I must say, I loved how Cruncho was using Harley Quinn's toolkit to keep Batman away, even from the wall.
I will agree with you on that. He did have a great use of that toolkit, especially with the mines and plushes. Like, those, his playstyle with those go crazy. But Mekatex is kind of just taking them all into account, you know, backing off when he knows they're about to explode.
You can't keep doing this, Harley.
Here we go. Once again, Sky Arena with no platforms for game number 2 here, as we see Cruncho going in for an immediate attempt at some aggressive play here. The moment we see an approach from Cruncho and it lands, we could be seeing potentially up to 30% going into it. But, I mean, Mekatex, the moment he gets an approach, he's able to really extend his combos here, and he's been doing a great job of it so far, not giving Cruncho much room to breathe. However, Cruncho is going to be able to get a good combo string of his own.
That is very true. Plus, I am seeing Mekatex. He's really utilizing Grapple as a lot of a scare tool. Because Cruncho does know, I feel now, that if he does get grappled and he does connect off of it, he's going to be in a combo for some time. Then again, though, Cruncho's combo game right there, taking him to 100, is crazy.
Oh, I love the usage of the bomb there. Going to be able to play the get off me sort of stance. But now it's up to Cruncho to get what I've been saying the entire time with the Harley Quinn, getting a consistent kill confirm, and we're going to see it there, which is good. I would say if you're able to keep that going, do so, because Batman's a light character. He's not heavy, so it does help to get those kills as soon as possible. Oh, that Batarang is great, and this could actually be the stock. Yeah, no answer coming in from Cruncho, unfortunately, to be able to make it back on the stage. Loses the stock as the result, and now Mekatex is swiftly bringing the lead back into his side of the field.
Very, very true right there. He wanted that kill. He went down for him twice. Now he's just comboing. Like, this is Mekatex's stage, I feel. Like, this is where he's best.
It is a really great stage for Batman, but you can't forget about the aerial tools that Harley Quinn does have. And look at that! Great usage of her moveset there to be able to put her in such a great position. Cruncho getting the second nair to get that point. And one on the board here against Cruncho. We got a real set going on as it's 1-1.
Very true. That was a good nair from Cruncho. So though, I think with Mekatex, I do think he will switch stages to something like trophies, especially with, you know, his kit with Batman. But then again, that would also benefit Cruncho because then he has those platforms to jump back with.
Wouldn't be too surprised to see it, honestly. It's a great stage for both characters, and it's probably the most neutral stage in the game. Some people could argue that Sky Arena with no plats is the best neutral stage in the game, but you have the fact that the top blast zone is farther away than something like Trophy's Edge, and having those moving platforms is very beneficial for both Harley Quinn and Batman. It does give them opportunities to be able to extend combos, even off stage, up in the air. So it's really great stages for the neutral. And honestly, like, Cruncho being able to pull it back here was really impressive. I said it before, and I'll say it again. You gotta keep your kill confirms and movement persistent. You have to keep it great, and you have to keep it on lock, because otherwise that gives Batman an opening to be able to come in and get that kill. And we've seen it. Mekatex is more than able to get in close and get it quickly.
Yeah, that is very, very true right there. I think Mekatex, especially after, you know, that game, I think he's gonna go more defensive, because after, you know, kind of seeing Cruncho's playstyle while he is offensive, I do think he's gonna think that Cruncho is gonna stay with that kind of playstyle. So if he plays more defensively, he can get a lot more punishes, a lot more combos, and a lot faster kills.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense, but at the same time, I don't really think Batman's defensive playstyle is going to be super beneficial here. Really, all you can do for Batman's defensive play is throwing a lot of smoke bombs, so that way Harley's projectiles can't really interfere. And you can only do that so much because it is a move that does have cooldown, and it can only be used while grounded. So Batman is an aerial focused character, and as a result, that does leave him having a little bit of trouble when it comes to that defensive game. So really, you have to use your speed here to get away from potentially disadvantageous situations.
Very, very true. Especially with, like, both of these characters' speeds. I think both these characters are on par with each other in terms of speed, because Multiversus is a big game with movement involved. It's a lot like Smash Bros. Melee, is what I see people compare it to with movement.
To a degree, I can agree with that. It does allow some expressiveness, some free-flowing potential combos, but I feel like it's way too early in the game's lifespan as well to really consider it similar to Melee in a sense, because of the fact that it's just super early on in Multiverse's lifespan. And so people are playing a decent amount of the game with bread and butters so far, so we'll have to see if that changes over time. But instead of worrying about the future, let's worry about the now, because we're about to get started here with the next game here with Mekatex and Cruncho. And I think we're going to see Mekatex sticking with the Batman, and Cruncho's going to stick with the Harley.
I do love to see the Harley gameplay. I gotta admit, Cruncho is the only Harley in here, so it kind of provides I think I would say more pressure, but at the same time, Cruncho's not letting that show at all.
No, not at all. It's an easy character for someone like Cruncho to be able to swap over to, because she does play somewhat similarly to Bugs Bunny. It's just a matter of what kind of buttons you throw out instead.
Very, very true. I will agree. But let's get started with this third game.
Yep, game 3 here once again, Sky Arena with no platforms.
We'll say Cruncho is already starting off with the aerial.
Okay. I'm really liking that extension there from Cruncho, being able to really just put the opponent off stage, try to make him use his specials to get rid of that ability to recover. However, I mean, 19% so far on Cruncho. I think he's got a lot of information here on Mekatex to be able to get an assessment of this is how I should be playing right now. And we've been seeing it a good amount here, especially with that max stack of Weekend, and yet he's going to be able to be confident and dodge everything as needed. There we go. That's the kind of stuff I'm wanting to see, using the plushie to be able to explode the opponent, put them in knockback, and then using up special to get a kill, and they won't be able to do anything about it.
Very, Cruncho right now, that first combo was so good, especially with taking him up to 50. And again, though, Mekatex is just kind of bringing it back. He is not letting Cruncho get that lead. He's staying on him as much as he possibly can. And the battering explosion is going to take the kill there.
I must say, I am really surprised at how every time we see Mecha go for the side special, we then see Cruncho using the plushie, throwing it out, because then Mekatex really can't go in with a side special, because then he's going to get stuck with the plushie and then he's going to explode as a result. But here we go, both players on one stock remaining. See, once again, throwing out the Jack-in-the-Box this time around. Can't use side special.
Oh, not at all. Cruncho is using that to his advantage, Harley's kit. But, I've seen people describe Harley as like Isabelle, but with actual good moves, with, how all of the traps set up she has. And plus, it does only take one good, Jack-in-the-Box placement to be put in a possibly death combo at this point.
Yeah, I could definitely see that a little bit, but, oh, here we go. We're going to see the Bat Bomb and the plushie both being connected to each other. However, not going to put them in too much of an advantageous position here, but tied game at the moment. But we see the one stack of the week. However, you see what I'm talking about. The moment Harley Quinn has you above her, and Cruncho being able to move in correctly and really properly to be able to take that game with an up special. I'm loving this. In the middle of a tournament, we're seeing Cruncho improve with this character, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, it is showing Cruncho's just pure adaptability, and then it's just a skill you have to have. It's just good adaptations with games like this, especially in best of 3 sets or best of 5 sets.
Yeah, but you have to also remember, this is best of 5. This isn't best of 3.
Yeah. So it does just add kind of more time to adapt, especially with the first 2 games. That's all right. You're not in the zone of losing quite yet. But then after that second game, it's time to put all of those skills that you've just adapted to test.
You're right about that. Now, I will probably believe that they are most likely they're going to stay on the same stage and they're going to stay with the same characters because we've been seeing that the entire time here so far. And I don't think either player has any reason to swap off of Sky Arena with no plats unless Mekatex doesn't feel confident enough with it anymore. And yep, he doesn't feel confident enough with it anymore. We're going to see the counter pick now going to Trophy's Edge 1.0 this time around as we get on to our next game.
I mean, Trophy's Edge, I do want to see how that is, because like you said before, Trophy's Edge is just very neutral. You know, it's there. It will be good for both characters with the platforms.
Here we go, getting into our next game here.
I think something that we will see in play, at least once this tournament of Trophy's Edge, is how far those platforms take you to that side blast zone before they start coming back. So like a stray move at 50 could kill someone.
Potentially. It just depends on how you ladder your opponent, especially with the use of these floating platforms here. But here we go. Game 4 going to be on Trophy's Edge 1.0 once again. And immediately we're going to see some aggressive combo game coming in from Cruncho. And honestly, like, this is some pretty good stuff so far. But for the most part, it's just been a bit of back and forth of trying to out-neutral the other player as we see a little bit of connection issue here.
Yeah, the connection issue is just kind of a big part of Multiversus with how just everything is. I will say, it's not good, though.
Oh,
I hate to see it.
I mean, that was unfortunate that we weren't able to fully see that game coming out into play here. But, I mean, it's definitely unfortunate that we had to see a technical issue here. But, I mean, this is a beta for a reason. It's not fully fleshed out, not fully finished yet. So, I mean, you do have to take that into effect. But, honestly, it is going to be interesting to see how the set's going to continue, even without like talking about the lag, because like that was a good start for Cruncho. I don't know if the game ended or not, but that could be a potential momentum killer too.
It could be, especially with, you know, like just coming off those 2 wins that Cruncho just had. I do think it could possibly be one, like you are saying, yeah.
Potentially, but we'll have to see how it goes. It looks like we're going to be joining right back into the lobby here, so we'll be able to get back into the swing of things. It looks like their game didn't finish, so we'll be just restarting the whole game there. Not a big deal. We really didn't lose that much time in it, honestly, so it's all cool.
Yeah, at least, you know, I think we can all just say thank you that it didn't happen at the end.
Absolutely.
And it probably is
ready.
kind of like a server issue because it's Multiversus. We've had server issues since the start of this game.
Here we go, getting ready for the next game here. It's going to be on Trophy's Edge once again, and everything similar to that last game that unfortunately did not finish. But honestly, like, it's going to be fine.
Yep, 100%. Especially with, you know, with just how Cruncho does play. I do feel like we'll just be right back into the swing of things instantly, with just how both these players are both very aggressive, and it's just kind of these games are going quick. Like each is lasting like 2 minutes to 1:30.
Yeah, you're right about that, and. Ooh, let's see some good approach here from Mecha. Nothing just yet. There we go. Gonna use the Sarah to approach, and then immediately trying to float back over to the Batarang as well to be able to get some good advantage going. However, we're seeing the combo extension coming in from Cruncho. Gonna be able to get a bit of percent on his own, but unfortunately we're going to see another disconnect. And this time we were kicked out. So the game could possibly still be continuing.
Could very well possibly be.
No, it kicked them all.
No. So yeah, this is just a pure server issue at this point.
That's a really unfortunate situation to be in right now.
It's very unfortunate. But we at least again, it's not happening during the Pierce like end of the game. So at least there is that.
At the very least, I'm just hoping that we can get things hopefully fixed here. I mean, all things considered, like the connection looks good. It's just the server kicking it's just unfortunate. But you know what? Let's talk about how so far. I mean, even then, all of our players have been doing a really great job so far.
Exactly. You know, because, you know, you're kind of, you know, things just kind of go with how everyone's going with the flow, things like that. And also, kind of a little update, but Risco DQ'd.
Oh.
So Clement has moved on to losers round 3. So we very well may possibly see him again.
That will be really nice to potentially see here.
100%, yeah.
I'm really hoping that we get to see a lot more of just some great old action, honestly.
That is very true, yeah.
I don't want, especially from these two players, because I don't want to potentially have to commentate another set and not see how this set finishes out. I really want to see them both play, of course. But if push comes to shove, that could be a possible decision that has to be made to just finish off the set off stream, you know?
Especially with, you know, how Mekatex is still able to win this. I mean, he took the game off of Cruncho in the first one, so he has the ability.
Definitely a possibility. Cruncho does have the advantage, however, with the 2 points. So he does have one extra shot. But at this point, I mean, once again, that's another momentum killer. So at this point, I mean, it's a momentum killer for both players. But, I mean, that really kills your, like, 2 game in a row win. So, oh my, we'll have to see how it goes, you know?
Yeah, that is very true. We will just have to kind of see how the set unfolds. So, you know, I think with the way everything is going, though, you know, because whoever does win this, they do go up against the titan of a LeBron that is Minty.
Yes, and Minty has been wrecking house so far, taking some impressive wins against Wavy and Clemente, and hasn't lost a game yet, which is also really interesting to point out. So it's going to be really interesting to see that whoever wins this set, how they're going to deal with Minty's just over-dominating presence with the LeBron.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that, especially. Kind of because, you know, I'm pretty sure that Cruncho and Minty have seen each other in bracket before. And, you know, if we do see that kind of grudge match, that would be pretty exciting. But Mekatex could just come from behind and just take it all. Especially with, you know, how he's been rolling. He's getting close. He's getting, like, each time he got closer to beating Cruncho and taking his second point in the game.
Haven't I put you away enough time already?
Here we go.
Are starting off with, you know, Mekatex is hiding in that smoke.
Yeah, because you're dealing with a Harley who does like to start by using projectiles, bringing them to you to provide some starting pressure here and move them to the way you want them to. But, oh my goodness, that movement around the Batarang to not get hit by it and get stacked with weakened. I loved that from Cruncho. However, not going to last for too long because immediately Mekatex is coming in with the fire and flames of a dragon.
Very, very true right there. Especially with, you know, the up specials that we are seeing from Cruncho. They're just doing so much for him. And, you know, we've seen that in every game that he's played so far with Harley.
Ooh, I like to use a Batarang to play Getaway. 109.
Does have the 2 Jags.
There we go.
Benefit off of it. Very good. That up special.
Alright, Mekatex trying to get a kill here, but Cruncho gonna dodge at the perfect time. And my goodness, Mekatex dodging every single opportunity that Cruncho tries to land down with something like fair. Really good stuff, but how long is that going to last? Not for long, as we're going to see a great extension coming in from Cruncho, as he's going to be able to continue it here. Not going to be able to get the neutral air at the moment.
That Nair was just, it just barely missed it. Especially with, you know, like status effects like Ignited that Cruncho has to just put that extra pressure with that adding damage. But then again, that down air is gonna do it for Cruncho's first stock.
Here we go. We're looking pretty good with 1 stock apiece. However, Mekatex does have a little bit of some work to do if he wants to get a game 5 here. But this could potentially be it with the max stack of the weekend.
Very true right there. Mekatex has shown that he can come back.
But it ain't gonna happen this time.
Cruncho does take the win and officially crunches on another competitor.
Man, what a great set from both of these players. I mean, it honestly could have went either way. Unfortunately, due to the disconnects, that could have ruined Mekatex's momentum, and that's an unfortunate thing to have happen, of course. But Mekatex still on the loser side. Don't forget that, ladies and gentlemen. So he still has a run. He's not out for the count yet. And Cruncho will have to fight the demon of the bracket right now, Minty Hippo.
You know, and Mekatex himself has to fight an absolute demon. That is Swerve down in losers.
Potentially, yeah. Well, actually, yeah. Just in general, yeah.
Make it quick, mortal.
I will say, it's going to be very, very scary to see how that set goes because we won't be watching it on stream. But we will be watching Look Easy and Fat Pack when we come back here from this brief little intermission.